presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day. Tom takes your phone calls toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
This is awesome. Come on, parlez-vous. We're going over to Paris. What's happening?
Hey, Tom, it's Adam from Paris. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Adam, yourself?
That's good. Long time no talk. I appreciate everything you've done for me and my family over the years. So,
well, we appreciate you growling problem with us.
Yeah, sir. I've done gold reports and all the softwares and all your books and read it. Generational thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Now, Tom O'Brien.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN, 3:07 p.m. Eastern Time. We got 1 hour left to go in trading right now, and you got markets rolling over a bit. All things considered, you're looking at an S&P right now, folks, that is about 60 points away from all-time highs. We were up this morning at about 64.31, all-time highs of 64.68, but you go back to a 5-minute chart, and you got markets rolling over a bit. As we just came into lows of the session, as I was getting ready for the program, and right now you're off by just 6 points in the S&Ps. NASDAQ 100, negative by 33 points, or about 0.1% right now. We're chopping around almost where you were right on the open. That correlates to where you were at about 4 a.m. Eastern Time as well. Dow off by 200 points, and the Russell off by 1. We take a look at a little bit of a price of volume on these indices. Now, the S&Ps. Let's take a look at it. So I'm going to zoom in on the the volume here. Now, what's remarkable is, okay, we had a tremendous amount of volume on August 1st on the selling. You got a bit of a reprieve. You take a look at the action we had on Thursday, August 7th. Okay, slight trade higher. Fridays, we're missing some volume there on Friday. Now today, looks like we're going to be missing some volume today as well, right now. We've only done about 800,000 contracts in the S&P. That's versus 1.1 and 1.4 the last 2 days. You jump over the NASDAQ 100, and you're talking about doing 447,000 on Friday, 557,000 on Thursday, and we might get some volume today. We got an hour left to go, and you're going to get some volume on the close, and we're going to need about 100,000 contracts to get above where we were on Friday, and you might do that. But nonetheless, you get the NASDAQ 100 bumping up near highs right now, as we're even negative by 34 points. So we jump to NVIDIA and AMD. So they're going to be kicking back 15% of their profits to do business in China. The market actually sold them off on that news this morning. Sold them off again near the open, rebounded quickly, and just like that, we're in higher territory with NVIDIA pushing 183 right now. AMD, pretty similar action. Not quite the same volatility, but you race higher out of the gate. We've given back a lot of those gains. AMD just slips in the red with this market right now. Jump around to some of the other equities. You got Amazon down about 0.6%. Microsoft, slightly in the red. They've given up their gains today. You jump over to Google shares, down by about 0.2%. And Apple, even Apple, I say that as in quite a week for Apple last week. Apple down about 0.8%. Now, the news that also hits is you have a 90-day pause. Now, this was expected because that's how things have been going, but it's not true until it comes. But Trump extends the tariff truce for another 90 days, okay? He signed an order extending that truce, and negotiators from both sides reached a preliminary agreement to keep the arrangement last month in Sweden, and this is going to extend that. The extension will ease the worries of a renewed tariff war. So again, tensions ease. The extension may also clear the path for Trump to visit China to meet with Xi in late October, around the time of an international meeting in South Korea that the U.S. leader is likely to attend. All right, and then we talk a little bit of Fed. So you have Treasury Secretary Bassett. I got to get that one. For some reason, the pronunciation expands the Fed chair search. Bowman, Jefferson, and Logan. Michelle Bowman, Philip Jefferson. Those are two vice chairs, and the Dallas Fed President Lori Logan, they're under consideration to serve as the next Fed chair. You have the Treasury Secretary running the search, going to interview additional candidates, and this is coming right now, man. Michelle Bowman. Now, she was out there calling for 3 cuts. And there's Vice Chair Philip Jefferson. So Trump appointed Bowman to the Fed in 2018. She made her vice chair for supervision. That's the bank's top regulator this year. And Jefferson was appointed to the board by Biden in 2022 and then appointed vice chair in 2023, also by Biden. All right. So all right, we're going to get constant headlines nonetheless, right? Yeah, we go back to rates in focus. So the market I was talking about this morning, we're getting a little bit of lower price, higher yield, but nothing really going on in this market. We got a 10-year at 4.27% right now. Okay, we were inching towards 4.2, 4.19. You can see how this area. Now you jump back to where we were on July 1st. Can't believe it's already in the middle of August. I feel like July 1st was yesterday. I remember because the 10-year was at 4.19 and boom, just like that, you reversed. Where did we get to again? So the high there was 112.12. We got to 112.15, right? You got to 112.11, 112.14, and then 112.15, and we've rolled over a little bit since then. So the 10-year is comfortable at about 4.25%. We've hit a low yield of about 4.2. But the market right now thinks there's about a 90% probability that they'll be cutting rates by 25 basis points come their September meeting. And then the market right now, they have 3 meetings left. The market is about 50-50 whether they're going to have 2 cuts or 3. So the market thinks right now they're going to either have 2 out of 3 cuts or they're going to go cut to end the year. And I bring that up because that is what is priced into this market right now. For it to trade to higher price and lower yield, you're going to have to see more cuts priced in, okay? And that probably will happen. The thing that's in front of that is going to be inflation data, okay? That's the only thing preventing it. The Fed's going to start cutting. It's happening. You're going to have a new Fed chair in there. The current governors, the jobs data alone is lining up for the cuts. The only thing that's going to stop them is going to be the CPI data. We get that tomorrow morning. But yes, in the short term, the pressure's on. I don't think anything in the CPI in terms of tomorrow is going to change the fact of what happened in the jobs number that's going to push for a cut in September. And you're going to have the wind at the back, okay, when it comes to higher price and lower yield over the next 6 months. And as that happens, that should put pressure on the dollar, continued pressure. And you're seeing the dollar right now slightly higher at 98.53. But you take a look at this dollar on a longer term basis, man. Okay? Yeah, you got a slight bounce in July. But I just showed you that yields in July started at 4.19. The dollar went up because you got a slight reprieve with yields higher. Well, guess what? That's about to reverse. Yields are already back to 4.2. And the dollar looks like over the next near term, man, we'll see. But the heat might be on to the downside. Lots of cuts priced in already, though. Folks, stay tuned. We're coming back with our man Steve Rhodes. We're going to talk some markets. Don't go away.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter. A must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back, folks. Markets slightly in the red. S&P's negative by 10 points right now. NASDAQ 100 negative by 51. And to talk about some of the market action, we're going to jump over to our man Steve Rhodes like we do every Monday at 3:15 p.m. Eastern Time, folks. You can check out Steve's outstanding program, folks, The Trader's Edge, every market day, 11 a.m. live right here on Tiger TV. And right on the front page, folks, you hit that newsletter tab, Mastering Probability. Subscribe to Steve's newsletter. Check it out. It comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, folks. You can click that button, sign up for $149. You get it for 30 days, money-back guarantee, and you get some awesome webinars. And you get Steve in there every morning, afternoon updates, weekend updates. It's great stuff. Steve Rhodes, good afternoon.
Tommy, great to be with you. How are you today?
I'm doing great, man. It's a beautiful day in St. Petersburg, Florida. The sun is shining, and yeah, so it's going well.
I'll tell you where it was beautiful in Atlanta this weekend, Saturday night. Now, of course, we've been dealing with the heat for months here, and the original forecast when it went up there was supposed to be raining. We didn't get any rain, which was great. Saturday night at about 9-10 o'clock at night, we're all sitting outside, like 70-degree weather, clear skies, no bugs. It was beautiful. I said, where am I going to get this? Not until maybe January.
It's beautiful, but I was sweating today, Steve. I was running around to some houses in St. Pete. It is hot, man. I hear you. Give me some of that cool air.
Yeah. Well, another place that's hot is the gold market. So I thought we would talk about gold today. I'd share a few charts with you and our listeners out here. And the first one that we've got up is so I have 50. So this chart here is the seasonal chart for gold provided by the folks at SeasonX. Really great tools that they provide. Makes it easy for those folks that want to understand what the seasonal type averages are. So this is 57 years worth of data. The bottom panel shows you by month, top performing months, poor performing months. And if we take a look at it right now, that red vertical line, by the way, that's exactly where we're at today. And what we can see here is really the favorable seasonal cycle starts in July and really runs all the way through February. Then we get a bit of a move to the downside in March and June. So that's just a normal 57-year seasonal cycle. Now, what's the conclusion that we can draw from this? Well, the conclusion I would draw is that gold really should still be in a subtrend, and if it's going to follow along this cycle, would rally into the end of the year. The other option that we're taking a look at is how has gold behaved during post-election years. And that's what this, so that took the exact same data that we just looked at and then took a look at the post-election years. And we can see here that it's much more of a choppier ride out there. In fact, I would say, no, we're sort of near, no, what's interesting about this is this suggests that we should see a bottom in just a couple of days out here. Again, the red vertical line, Tommy, is where we're at.
Okay.
And, but it looks like a much choppier type of a market, or more of almost a consolidation, a sideways consolidation that is out there. So those are the two patterns to take a look at. Let's try to investigate this further. First, what's going on in the market? When I take a look at the daily and the weekly time frame charts, you can see I've drawn in a consolidation pattern. So we just talked about the fact that maybe this is more of a consolidation-oriented pattern out here. That's what gold is really trading in as we speak right now. And the interesting thing here is we do have tops for gold for the type of the patterns that I use, tops for gold for its daily, weekly, and monthly time frame. On the daily time frame, it's a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. Again, that's led to this consolidation sideways. On the weekly chart, it's a TD9 count top, and on the monthly chart, it's a TD9 count top out here. So we had on Friday, what took place is price ran right up into the top of the consolidation pattern and since backed off. Kind of interesting, huh?
Yeah, right.
Gold is testing. If somebody just come down and take a look at the daily profile, the daily chart out here. So we've got gold that tested the top of the consolidation pattern. And now this was a snapshot from maybe about a half an hour, 40 minutes ago. Price was testing the bottom of its daily profile. And the bottom of its daily profile is 34.1410. If at today's close, price closes below that, what it does is increase the odds of price moving back towards the 33.76 level, 33.38, or maybe even back to the bottom of the consolidation. What looks like is going on to me is that today is day number one of a retracement. And if you look at the bottom panel of the chart here, it shows us consecutive days up and consecutive days down. We take a look at consecutive days down. They typically are 2-day knee-jerk reaction lows, 3-day knee-jerk reaction lows, and on occasion we get a 4-day. The most recent one that we had was basically a 4-day move to the downside and price move to the upside. So that's what I would expect, is that if we get a close below 34.1410, is that would signal to us at least that 2 to 4 day retracement and likely finding support at one of those either profile levels or at the bottom of the consolidation. This is gold's monthly chart. And if we go back, and what I've done on this, you're going to see about 4 charts, and it's going to decorate basically this chart here, or this blank chart. Now, this is a long-term chart, monthly time frame. Goes back to when, back in 1998, when gold was at $253. That's our A point. The B point was at, now this is the continuous contract, by the way. The B point about 1923, a 52% retracement. And you can see that we are now above the 1 to 1.272 A to B expansion level. For me, once we get to the 1-to-1 area, anytime we get there, what I look for is a bearish reversal candle to confirm that we've got a top out there. So it's the sellers signaling to us that they're ready to try to take action. Bless you. And so unless we get a bearish reversal candle, the monthly chart is suggesting that gold wants to make a move up to the 37.48 level. That would be the 1 to 1.618 A to B equals CD pattern. If we add rising price channels to this, and we start with the rising price channel along the lows out here, we can see that we've just entered what could be a new rising price channel. Once you break through one, and what we've done here is we broke through it 4 months ago, and then we spent the last, or 5 months ago, we spent the last 3 to 4 months testing that rising price channel line. So it's been tested, it's been rejected, we're in a new price channel, and if gold is going to continue to move higher, again, this is adding to the idea of getting to the 37.48 level. We also have horizontal trading range boundary lines, and these are these, and you can see off to the right-hand side, you've got both the number of a price point as well as how often we've had price stop at that area. For example, down at 1312, we've had 35 opens or closes on a monthly basis at that level. And here we can see that prices trade above both that rising price channel as well as this 33.61 level. It's possible, Tommy, that on a pullback, that 33.61 could be that level of support, or maybe it's just down right at the top of that rising price channel one more time. So the monthly close above, by the way, monthly close above... no, nothing else for me to say there. I also wanted to take a look at how gold was trading in other currencies out here. And these are the Middle Eastern currencies. And what's kind of interesting is when gold was testing the top of its consolidation in terms of U.S. dollars, it was testing its all-time highs in almost every major Middle Eastern currency. The point to take here is that price was hitting resistance, not just in U.S. dollars, but price was hitting resistance in these countries for their currencies. If I take a look at what's going on with regard to gold priced in other major currencies like the euro, like the yen, like the pound, what we have out here is gold priced in pounds, the Canadian loonie, the Swedish krona, and the Chinese yuan, each tested and rejected the low of their all-time high swing point out there. So again, resistance was hit. And this sets up that idea of a 2 to 4 day pullback inside of gold. So that's what I see when we take Goldilocks out there, just a sideways consolidation, and those things can be painful.
Well, especially when gold just goes up, Steve, right? Isn't that? No, great analysis, man. I love the way you walk through it. And
if you look at the monthly chart, on the very right, you can see just sideways action.
I know.
There,
and
right?
You know what's amazing too, Steve, is when you talk about that consolidation, we just completed a 1-to-1 A to B, C to D, exactly off those February of 2024 runs, which is that consolidation too, which would make sense. You get a little pullback to add into the mix. Steve, great analysis, man. You do such a great job. I always appreciate the education. We look forward to the program tomorrow at 11, and have a great day, man.
Take care, Tommy.
Take care. We'll be right back, folks.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Tom O'Brien Show is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at direction.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. And we got golds, down $89, $34.02. Pressure to the downside. And you hit $33.97 earlier today. But you look at that action, we're approaching the lows of the session right now with gold down $88. And that is a loss of 2.5%. Silver down by 2.2% right now. You jump over to copper. So copper down by 2 pennies right now. You've had some extreme volatility on copper recently with tariffs in focus. Come on, catch up, baby. All right. Thinkorswim's a little slow. We're lagging here. Come on, Thinkorswim. All right, it's not going to pull up anything. Well, guess what? We're going to talk about a little GM, and then we'll jump back to the charts. So General Motors. Now, they ditched their self-driving plans after the Cruise debacle, as they call it. Cruise Autonomous Taxi, San Francisco, 2023. They exited that business because of what? Costs. At the time, it would keep working on a personally owned autonomous vehicle. And so in a meeting August 6th, they detailed some of those plans. So 5 days ago, last week, they're seeking to lure back some former employees of that business as part of a renewed push. It's going to be focused on autonomous cars for personal use. Now, this is where I was intrigued here, right? You look at this. Where's the line? Now, there is a line, of course, okay? But if it's personal use, I mean, Tesla's always touting, right, that you can buy a Tesla and then you can just have it leased out because it's a self-driving car when you're not using it. Is that really how it's going to work? Because that's not what GM is saying in this. They're going to focus on autonomous cars for personal use, with the ultimate goal being a car that can drive with no one at the wheel. Better be. This time around, the project is going to be focused on personal use rather than the robo-taxi service, okay? The first step, they're looking for hands-free, eyes-free driving with a human in the vehicle, with the ultimate goal that the car can drive with no one at the wheel. They had this meeting on August 6th. Sterling Anderson, quite a name, the former Tesla Autopilot chief, okay, he joined GM earlier this year. Anderson said he sees autonomy as the future and that GM will add more talent, including trying to bring back some of the Cruise workers and hire new staff for the automaker's Mountain View, California office. So there's going to be competition on Tesla out there. We're accelerating the development of autonomous driving technology capable of operating without active human oversight. And so they're going to be hiring. Anderson came in May from Aurora Innovation, and that's autonomous trucking. Before that, he led development of Tesla's autopilot driver assist system about a decade ago. It's got to be remarkable being in a position like this. So he worked as a PhD at good old MIT. He wrote a paper at MIT for his doctorate in mechanical engineering about semi-autonomous driving. Man, I digress, folks, but I tell you, I was so fortunate growing up in beautiful Boston. All right, when I was in high school, Thinkorswim's frozen on me, I think. Perfect. This is a perfect time. Uh-oh. Let me know if you can get my charts. Yeah, my computer's having a little moment, so I'll tell you, folks. MIT, one of the best colleges in the world, man. The people that go to MIT, the intelligence that is on that campus, okay? I was fortunate to go to an outstanding high school in Massachusetts, Noble and Greeno, Dedham, Massachusetts, 10 Campus Drive, Dedham, Mass. If you're looking for an outstanding middle school, high school, okay? One of my best friends at Noble's, his brother was a year or two ahead of us. I think it might have been, maybe a year or two ahead of us, maybe 2 years ahead of us. And so our senior year in high school, his brother was at MIT. Brilliant kid, okay? And great family, just outstanding people in general, but his brother in particular, absolutely brilliant, one of the best students in our high school in his class. So he goes to MIT, so we're seniors, right? This is great. we go to MIT in October for a Halloween party. Now, you got to realize, right? I mean, we can all go back, folks. We're in high school. We're at a college party, okay? And it's a good time. It's Halloween, right? People are having beers. There's nothing crazy going on. And what was amazing, though, is that I'll never forget being in high school, is that they took one poor individual that they decided to they wanted to create a mummy. And so what they did is they plastered one guy, okay? And they plastered him, and what ended up happening was the plaster got entirely stuck to his body. So, right, we were joking, you got the brightest kids in the world. Now, everybody, this is no judgment whatsoever, all right? You know, everyone makes it to college, you're having a good time, okay? You're gonna make mistakes. Make sure you're not drunk driving. You know, there's certain things you can do, okay? And what happens is that, and they are having a trouble with it, and we can take a break early if you want to, Al, if we're having problems. I think I got to reboot whatever's going on. Do you have my chart, Al? Let me know. So the brightest people in the world, and somehow they didn't think to make sure they put any type of layer, convenience, Vaseline, something. This poor kid was plastered head to toe, and it was all in his hair and everything, and they had to literally sit there and chip it off his body one by one, the poor kid writhing in pain as everyone's hanging out at the fraternity party. I'll never forget it. That was my exposure as a senior in high school, partying up at a MIT fraternity party. Nonetheless, GM, to get back to the point, man, GM's up 1% right now. You see that acceleration this morning, little volatility this afternoon, potentially when that news was coming out. And yeah, so they're going to be trying to hire. They're getting back into the business. You take a longer term look at GM. Get some nice volume on their numbers last month. Yeah, week of July 21st. That's your weekly. Just looking, yeah, we got some volume at these lows in March, of course. You get that volume in April, but look at that selling. Most equities out there, the big volume spike is April 7th. Didn't actually happen in GM. Now, of course, car companies in focus more than most with tariffs, in terms of talking about that their business doesn't even exist with how some of those tariffs were laid out in the beginning. On a daily basis, we're coming up to fill that gap from January. But GM, they're getting in the game, and it would make sense. The competitors are coming everywhere. Forget about China. You know, Tesla's going to have their hands full, man. That's one of those problems. The story is elsewhere on Tesla, because when it comes to cars, they're ahead of the pack, but everyone's coming, GM included. Tesla, though, up by $11, up by 3.4% to $340 right now for Tesla. Take a look at Tesla. Let's see, that's a daily. Let's take a look at the weekly volume as we're chopping around right now. So what's happened is 300's become the floor recently on Tesla. All right, but the high, where are we bumping into? The high at 355, which is the bar from June 2nd when you rip lower. We got a high today of 346. And yeah, we're right in the middle of that bar right now. All right, folks, markets in the red. S&P's off by 10. You get the gold contract right now down $88 at 34.03. We jump over to the VIX. A little bit of a spike to 16. Elevated as this market has a little fear. Not that much, though. Stay tuned, folks. Come right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors. For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Tom O'Brien.
Welcome back, folks. We got the S&Ps off by about 11 points right now. You jump over to Disney. So Disney up by 0.2% right now. And you jump to Paramount. The world of streaming. P-Sky. I know that one now. Down 4% is the new Paramount Sky Dance. Is that what it is? What's the name? Let's see. Oh, I got to type it in here. P-Sky. Paramount Global is the name of that one. Well, P-Sky is the symbol for the new Paramount. You're down by 44 pennies. But we're going to talk Disney. We're going to talk Paramount. We're going to talk streaming. We're going to talk UFC right now. Okay? So I talked about this briefly on the show this morning. We'll start it off with Paramount. So what's amazing here is I didn't have the details quick enough this morning as this got announced right prior to the program. All of these fights, there's going to be no more pay-per-view. It's amazing. It always goes to that you can make more money by giving the product away for free and selling ads. Now, they're going to sell subscriptions too. But I bet they're going to get ads in there, folks. I bet, can you imagine where you get certain, like imagine if you have Paramount, which is CBS, right? CBS gets the Super Bowl. They might give it to everybody on Paramount, but then maybe they sell ads to everybody too, right? There's a million things you can do. No more pay-per-views. I love UFC. I've never paid for a pay-per-view. I don't love it enough. But guess what? I'm a Paramount Plus subscriber, and you better believe that I'm jazzed about this deal. They're all going to be on Paramount Plus. They're going to be on CBS as well. That's going to be the big ones. They're going to sell the ads, right? That's it. You're going to have the big UFC bouts on CBS. So Paramount acquires the U.S. rights. This is just the U.S. for the UFC for 7 years for $7.7 billion. The UFC is great, man. And I'm not even like a huge fan. I probably can't even name one or two people in the whole UFC. But live sports, okay? There is nothing like live sports when it comes to these streamers, and you're seeing it take place with ESPN, Disney, Fox, Paramount, okay? Now, so that story's Paramount. And that's a big one. I'm going to look at Paramount a little closer, man, okay? If that's the first deal that they make in their post-Skydance merger, I love it. You better believe it's worth it, man, okay? They are a cult of its own, and I say that in a good way. As in, those followers of the UFC, they live and die, and I love it, okay? As in, yeah, I want to watch some more UFC. So they're going to have the full slate of 13 marquee events and then 30 fight nights. Marquees are the big ones, of course. All matches are going to be streamed in the U.S. on Paramount Plus, and select events are going to be simulcast on CBS. Yeah, the payments are weighted for that deal, but Paramount's going to be paying less than $1 billion in the early years of the deal and higher values later. So ESPN was paying an average of $500 million a year for 5 years. That deal expires at the end of this year. The pay-per-view model, it's a thing of the past. And that is the UFC group's president, right? The TKO group's president. Yeah, what's on pay-per-view anymore? Boxing, movies on DirecTV. It's an outdated, antiquated model. It's pretty remarkable because they're the kings of that model right now. I see it all the time. Do you ever pull up ESPN and you see it and I'm like, man, really? I'm not signing up for this for $100. If I just sign up, and this is where, when they find out, I agree, folks, okay? Every single weekend, you're going to have an incentivized live broadcast, and all you got to do is pay $12.99 a month to sign out, okay? And you're going to get them all, and that's what they want to amplify. I think it's a great message. I think they're going to get it lock stone, and then you get that they're going to get to sell ads on top of it, right? They're going to air it on CBS and sell ads, and they're going to get all those signups for Paramount Plus on top of it. The cord is getting cut between this deal and then you go to this deal, which is ESPN and Fox, okay? So ESPN and Fox are going to bundle upcoming streaming services for about $40 a month. They're both going to launch on August 21st. That's right before the start of college football and the NFL, okay? These streamers are getting it together when it comes to live sports, and it is happening right this year, folks. It's going to be a different year than we've ever seen when it comes to live streaming and the NFL, and then you add on to it the UFC, and it is a different horizon. It's a different playing field, okay? Now, if you subscribe to both of them, okay, ESPN's going to be $29.99, Fox One's going to be $20. You subscribe to both of them, you get a $10 discount, you get them both for $40, okay? They're slightly different. ESPN, it's going to be an all-in-one app. You're going to get all of its live programming and from its TV networks, and that includes ESPN2, the SEC network, as well as ESPN on ABC, okay? The app will also have fantasy products, betting tie-ins, and everything else, okay? They're going to try and bundle it, but if you get it by itself, it's going to be $30 a month. Fox One is a bit different. Now, it's going to offer all its content, including news and entertainment, from its broadcast and TV networks, right? Fox One will not have any exclusive or original content, though. So it's a slight difference on how they're doing things, but they're going to package them. And yeah, Fox has a lot of NFL. They have a lot of sports. Fox NFL Sunday, right? So they're getting ready for the NFL season. And there's no better way to get people signed up, folks. It's happening. And it's happening right now. So Disney's up 33 pennies right now. You take a look at these equities. Yeah, Disney trading lower on their earnings last week. And yeah, on a short-term basis, folks, you know, we're bumping up. I just talked about this one. Like this area. Here, let's back it up first on a weekly. All right, there's your consolidation area with a high near 120. We've backed off from there. On a volume basis, man, you had some selling last week. Not what you want to see in terms of the volume spike. Not quite as much as how you traded higher on the prior 90 days, but that's selling, folks. All right, and on a short-term basis, you're now bouncing from the top of this area of about 120, but it is remarkable of that 120. That was also the top of the range going all the way back to where you sold off 10 years ago, folks. August 1st, 2015. Remarkable. You could be in Disney for 10 years and you're in a losing position. All right? So that's a ceiling that this thing's going to have to break through. And as you can see, you get volume on a monthly basis in April, but look at that. You get an acceleration on higher, an acceleration higher. Now, July had light volume as you trailed off, but August is going to have some volume. We've already done almost 100 million shares. It's only August 11th. Checking out Netflix shares. Yeah, same thing, July. Look at that selling you had. All right? You get big volume in April with the tariff lows, and then look at the volume dry up in Netflix in May, in June, okay? And then you sell off. We put it back to a weekly. Yeah. And look at how it happens, right? That was your wake up, July 7th, kind of. You could have rode that, and you've got a little bounce. We had some nice volume last week. So August 4th, you do catch a bid. You do it on greater volume than at the lows. But yeah, even the week of July 21st, you got some selling on Netflix. Check around some of the biggest equities out there. Amazon slightly in the red. Apple shares slightly in the red right now. Yeah, Microsoft. Jump over to Google. Look at that. They're all there. Even NVIDIA. AMD. All right. Not Intel. Intel CEO getting a meeting with the president. Hoping to smooth things over. Intel up by 3.4% right now. Giving back a lot of those gains, though. Look at that sell-off. All right, folks, one more segment. S&P's off 16. Don't go away. Come right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter. A must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN. Educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. And yeah, UBS. So somebody's getting out of UBS. This one at a 1.4% discount, but these banks have been on a run, man. On a run. So you have a UBS institutional shareholder offering their entire stake worth $619 million for sale. And yeah, that is going to be expected at a price. There's a 1.4% discount to the bank's closing price on Monday. There was enough demand to cover the deal shortly after it was launched. And Goldman's arranging the offering. Sale comes in shares as Switzerland's largest lender, are up 15% this year already. Not bad. And for those of you who have been watching forever, that is where one of my best friend, Jay, he's come on the program a couple times. Lives in Switzerland, works for UBS, lives in Zurich now. Went over there. That's why I was over in Mallorca, September of 2023. Can't believe that's almost 2 years ago, man. September 2023, I was over in Mallorca for his beautiful wedding. Went back through Zurich. And yeah, UBS, along with the banks. And yeah, you talk about the banks, man. I was talking about buybacks this morning. Some of the biggest buybacks are the banks out there with buybacks. Look at this run, right? JP Morgan from 140. What is that, October of 23, doubling in price to $289. Doesn't matter which one you pick, man. Bank of America, $24 in October, doubling in price, let alone the run you had at 34 on the lows to 36 right now. You jump over to Citi, you're running from 38 to 92 in just 2 years. Whew. Let alone this year alone, you're up from 72 to 92 on Citi. Look at that. That's almost a 30% pop. All right, we got some selling coming into the close. Now remember, you get CPI data out tomorrow. Someone's selling to get ahead of that data. Look at that. All right, lows of the session. Jump over to the VIX to finish it up, and we got a VIX at 1630. Markets in the red, and why not? We'll finish it up with gold down to $90. Folks, thanks so much. Have a great night. Have a safe night. And yeah, we got CPI data tomorrow. I'll be live at 9 o'clock for the morning market kickoff. And don't forget, folks, Basil has an outstanding webinar coming up tomorrow night, 24 hours from right now. Check that out on the front page at TFNN and check out that opening call. We'll see you tomorrow at 9 o'clock, folks. Have a great night.